Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, so it's your boy LiveWire Sports Media. I'm back with another video. All right, this is a video I wanted to do a couple of days ago, and I finally got around to it. And it's about Caitlin Clark. I had watched this podcast. I don't know the name of it, but it was talking about how Caitlin has rivals. Should have rivals. They trying to say her and Angel Reese are rival. Did a Larry Bird what the Magic and Larry. I'm here to dispute that. You know why? Because Caitlin Clark has no rivals. Simple as that. She doesn't. Now you could insinuate who she's rival with. Now, you know, they don't move on somewhat from the Angel Reese rivalry thing. Now they're trying to do the Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers thing, you know. And granted, all of these kids played against each other, grew up around each other. At some point in time, they all went to different colleges. Me personally, Caitlin Clark does not have any rivals. You know why? Because she's undoubtedly a generational player that we have never seen. And the thing about makes Caitlin Clark so better than all of them is that she can play multiple sports. I have not seen an athlete in America, and maybe I'm missing something. If I do, then you know you find the information. Please shoot it in the comments for me. I have it racking my brain because this is another video I want to do altogether. But Caitlin Clark could be the first female athlete to ever play two sports. We already know that she's about to play in a golf tournament tomorrow. But to play basketball in season and then off season play golf. She's already played soccer, which she was really good at. I don't see Angel Reese. I don't see Paige Bueckers. I don't even see Juju. They're all talented in their own right, but they're not Caitlin Clark. And so I'm going to let y'all listen to this podcast for a minute, and then I'm going to come back to you and break a little bit down because there's a lot of things that I want to address because all this comparing, I said it before, Caitlin Clark is the Michael Jordan of the WNBA because guess what? We've seen this storyline before. Everybody tried to compare every nuanced person, you know, talent came out. That's the next Michael Jordan. That's the next Michael Jordan. That's the next Michael Jordan. Until finally, Kobe came along. And like I said before, Kobe still wasn't there. He might have all the Michael Jordan moves, but damn sure he had his own mentality. And he built it that way. Paige, Juju, even Angel Reese, they're going to have to find their own identity to where it's not attached to Caitlin Clark. Because as long as Caitlin Clark in the league, then that will, because guess what? If Caitlin Clark goes out and win a golf tournament this weekend or whenever and comes back and dominate the league and win a championship, how in the hell can Angel Reese, Juju, or Paige Bueckers compete with that? You can't. You not. It's infallible to think that. Check what they have to say out.
I don't think it's a Bird Magic era. I think you're going to hate this one as well, given your LSU ties.
Wow.
Caitlin doesn't have a Bird or a Magic. I think she's going to spend her entire career, probably up until the point that Juju ends up in the W, but there is still going to be such an age gap with that, with so many people trying to pretend that she has a genuine foil. And that conversation is always going to be in disservice to that player. It is such a disservice to Angel Reese that every conversation around her is in comparison to Caitlin Clark, because now you have this elite rebounder, this elite defensive player. Chicago Sky were incredible defensively every time she was on the court. who has a ton of potential in her own right, and is, if it wasn't, if she wasn't going up against this generational rookie that is changing everything, would have been rookie of the year, and would have been part, like, the big conversation that we're having. But because everything is through the lens of Caitlyn, we focus a lot more on her flaws. And there's a lot of other reasons we focus a lot more on her flaws as well. So it happened with Angel. I think Paige is going to come into the league and it's going to happen to her. Paige is going to come into the league and she's going to be incredible. I think she's going to be like MJ she's going to be Clyde to Caitlyn's MJ, where, Clyde Drexler has an incredible career, wins titles, is a winner, but is always going to be in that conversation up against MJ. And that's going to do a disservice to Paige's legacy. And we're going to go on and on like this because, we have this thing in sports where we think we need foils, and we don't always. I don't think we actually all need foils. The great players didn't need a foil. Tiger didn't need a foil. Tiger never had a foil. MJ never really had a foil either.
So this will be the last time I come on the podcast because you're taunting me, and you're aware that you're doing it.
Personally attack you. Yes.
You're taunting. Okay, so let me say a couple of things, and let me try to say these things without disparaging the great Caitlin Clark, because great is not an adjective that is even fitting to Caitlin Clark. She is a spectacular player, once in a generational talent. Okay, first of all, she's never won anything. Okay, so her main foil right now is the mirror. So that's the.
I like that though. That should be the foil. That should be the conversation.
That's her main foil right now. Is the mirror. Okay. I'd also argue something else. I'd argue that Bird and Magic weren't foils because of the excellence that they exuded on the basketball court. That was only a part of it. Okay. They were cultural foils more than they were anything else. See, at the time that people are choosing to root for, people root for excellence all the time, but they also root for resemblance. The question is, are there two athletes that are good enough that you have to pay attention to them, which I would agree Angel Reese is, right? Good enough that you have to pay attention to them and are representative of specific things that people can identify with. And that is what happened to me with Bird and Magic. Obviously, I'm not saying anything new. Bird represented oh my God, it's almost scripted. I don't think it's even real. Right? Bird, French Lick, Indiana, big, slow, insanely talented, devastatingly competitive white guy, right? Who literally wins, like he wins with whiteness. I'm just big, slow, and competitive, but I can shoot it. I can pass it. I'm tough as nails, all of that. And Magic, wearing a fur coat before the game, LA Showtime, it was the clash of that America got in between, and it becomes an argument about which style of basketball and which really, it becomes an argument about cultural supremacy, as dark and kind of dangerous that can be to flirt with. That is happening with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You're looking at someone, Angel in all of her flashiness, Angel in all of her brashness, Angel in all of her hip hop bravado, all of that stuff, against Caitlin Clark, who people view as America's golden girl. If Angel can be a relevant enough player, it will kind of always be about that, because as great as Juju is, as great as Paige is, they have yet to demonstrate that they have that extra thing that you can't teach that makes people care. When people care, they care. And when they don't, they don't. You can't score them into caring. You can't beg them into caring. When you have that thing that makes people care, that is something that's marketable and something that you can't teach. And both Angel and Caitlin have that in a way that I don't think players, I don't want to diss the W. I think this amount of give a fuck the skill is not new, but this amount of give a fuck could be new to the W for a lot of the new fans.
All right, so there's a lot to take from this video, is that the young lady, I agree with her. Caitlyn don't have a rival. She doesn't have any competition. The only competition is herself, because now she's going against herself. She's out to prove something. Whether we paying attention to it or not, this move by Stephanie White to coach Caitlyn is about Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark to prove everybody wrong. That coach and player tandem is going to win a championship. I said it before, don't be surprised they win it in 2025. I'm just telling you, and mark my words when I'm telling you this today. They'll win it in 2025. Paige, Juju, and Angel Reese. I agree. It's unfair for them to be pinned. But Angel Reese made her attachment to Caitlin Clark because of college. Juju, she's still young. She's still got a couple more years. But can she, if she's not filling up seats now and she has a following come in there and the pressure on her to be what Caitlin is already established, it's not going to work, because all she's going to do, because you look at their skill sets. Caitlin Clark has the most unique skill set of any player in the W, any player in college. When you could score at elite level and break records and assist at elite level and continue to break records in the same year, that's phenomenal talent. Now, I disagree with the guy because he's trying to say that Caitlin and Angel Reese are rivals. They burn the magic. No, they're not. If Angel Reese that came into the league by herself, there wouldn't be no buzz about her. But because Caitlin is in that class, she's getting that buzz because of that. Now, I want to touch on something real quick because Gino Auriemma said that this rookie class is not the best rookie class in the last, 10 or 20 years. It's in there. Is it going to be as talented? Well, we have to see how Cameron Brink comes back from injury, how improved Angel Reese going to be, Rika Jackson, how she going to be, Aaliyah Edwards. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of talent that could be one of the best. So my thing is this here. I feel like at the end of the day, these people want to continue to pin narrative to Caitlin Clark. Like I said, Caitlin Clark, Kent Swift, I want to pull up a tweet. I like Kent Swift. He does put out some decent content. Stuff on X. I do like Kent. Don't get me wrong. I like Kent. He's a great guy. But I want to read something right here what he put up. So Kent posts this up. He says, I'm undoubtedly a huge Caitlin fan. She got me back into sports after 18 years away because I stopped watching all sports after I had my daughter. She was the Rocky Balboa of women's basketball. She hands down my favorite athlete playing sports right now. He said, that being said, I think Paige is a generational talent. There are very different players, but both amazing in their own right. I wouldn't know who Paige was if it wasn't for Caitlin. Wrong or right. I'm not going to let Caitlin haters try to wedge me from being a fan of Paige because I feel compelled to compare the two. I personally think Caitlin is better, but I also like a ribeye steak and a lobster tail, and say they are both amazing in their own right. My advice, for what it's worth, is to enjoy both players. They both are amazing, special players, special talented young ladies who I do believe do a great job in what way to carry themselves both on and off the court. I think we are lucky to be in a time to enjoy both. Now, I want to go down with that a little bit. He got a point in there, but Kent, like I say, I love you, man. Paige ain't Caitlin. Paige might be special in her own right for what she does, especially for UConn, because when you playing in a system for what you are made for, see, UConn has a system. They're a machine. They're a system. So you have to confine to that system. Now, can Paige play out that system when she get to the W? I don't know. See, Caitlin benefited to become the system for Iowa. She was the system for Iowa. So the players that she played with was interjected into her system. You seen that when she was at the Indiana, when she got drafted by the Indiana Fever, it wasn't like that. Chrissy Sides wanted she wanted to be UConn, but Caitlin didn't want to be UConn. She wanted her system in place. That fast, moving up and down the floor, getting quick buckets, pace. Second half of the season, you started seeing the Caitlin Clark system. You started seeing the Iowa system implemented. You're going to see it even more this season under Stephanie White. For Juju, I don't know if USC has a system. But I can tell you this, from everything that I have watched, Juju is the system. And as far as Juju go, is USC going to go. Now, they do got Kiki over there, so I don't know. So Juju is going to get more of the limelight. Now, can they split that? I think they could, but we'll see. But to sit here and say that Caitlin Clark has a rival, that what's the girl name? Paige is on the same par with her, is asinine. Like Mike Tyson would say, it's ludicrous. Caitlin Clark is 101. And like I said, she's definitely a generational talent of all generational talents. Like I said before, she could be the first female athlete to play 2 sports. Basketball in season, golf off season. See, Caitlin has taken all the beating. She knows how to give the verbal assault. She allows her play to do the talking on the court. She doesn't talk in the media. She handles herself very professionally. And Paige knows. And see, what Paige did, to me, I feel like it was a detrimental to her playing basketball. When she was on that ESPYs and she gave that speech for Black women, that was a disservice to her. Because now, when she come into the league, she don't have a target on her back. But the pressure on her to be a great player is going to amount exponentially because of that. Because now you're going to have to show you a good player. Not just a great player, but a good player. You don't got acceptance to this special club in the W. So now they're going to be loving on you and they're going to bury your ass. See, if you think about it, that's what they're doing, trying to do to Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum played for the Aces, and they slowly is trying to bury her behind Angel Wilson. You could see it. If Kelsey Plum doesn't take the shots that she takes, she doesn't get any shots. Because Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young is getting the shots now. Look what they did to Kay Martin. Kay Martin was getting minutes off the bench at one point in time in the season. And then she stopped. They started burying her. See, they know Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark are best friends. Kate Martin outsold Angel Wilson's. Kelsey Plum is going to have, she's a free agent. She's going to have to leave there to go play somewhere else if they don't court her. Because she needs a spotlight for herself. Now, I think Kelsey Plum, it's not going to happen, so therefore don't quote me. This is hypothetical talking right now from myself. If Kelsey Plum was to play with Caitlin Clark, I think Kelsey Plum would feel right at home. You know why? She don't have to feel tense. She could play loose. She'll love to play with Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark is a free spirit person. You playing with somebody over there that wants to control how you operate, and that's Angel Wilson. Same thing with Angel Reese. And all of these people keep saying, well, what if the Chicago Sky draft Paige Bueckers? Okay, what if they do? How are they going to use Paige Bueckers? Because guess what? Angel Reese is going to be the vocal point of the team. And if you still got Kennedy Carter over there, they're going they're going to end up intimidating Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers look like a sweet girl, and I think she's a good talent. She's just not a generational talent. She's not. She's a good talent for what she does. She's not going to come into the league and take the league by storm. It's not. She looks like she could get intimidated easy. Paige Bueckers looked like she could get intimidated easy. And can you imagine her getting drafted by the Chicago Sky and dealing with Kennedy Carter and Angel Reese over there? Hell, she'll probably be one out mid-season like Marina Mabrey did. I think Paige will fit better with the Valkyries, or she will fit better with the Sparks, because she could feel at home. She could be there with De'Erica Hamby, somebody that's nice. Cameron Brain, Rika Jackson. Now, don't know how Rika Jackson gonna feel about that. You know, she might go one out. So I'm just telling you, people don't play fair if you end up drafting. That's why I say the pressure on Paige Bueckers is going to be extensional high, not from a basketball standpoint, but for a career personality standpoint. Because the fact of the matter is, you've fallen behind Caitlin Clark, and you're not going to be able to live up to Caitlin Clark. No matter how much they're going to try to push you, you're not going to be able to. Caitlin Clark is on another planet right now. She's like the female Thanos. She has all the Infinity Stones, and you can't stop her. I like Paige. I don't have nothing against her. Like I said, I think she's a nice talent. But again, her speech it set her up to fail. She's going to be welcome in there, but she's not going to be able to showcase herself the way she is, because they're not going to want her to. See, Caitlin Clark is exceptional because Caitlin Clark is going to be Caitlin Clark. You can't shelve her. See, you got a Leo Boston, Kelsey Mitchell on your team that loves playing with you. It's not like you go somewhere where somebody trying to shelf your career because you good and you white and you good. It doesn't work that way. Caitlin was given a chance to evolve when she was at Iowa because she was the focal point. Paige didn't, because guess what? Paige still had Mia over there. She still got a couple other pieces over there. You know what I'm saying? And now you have a coach that runs a specific system. And guess what? You got to go by that system. So it's to me, I think Gino O'Mara is so egotistical, and I think some of his players went on to have decent careers, but he didn't allow them to be the great players that they needed to be in UConn. And that's why it hurts him now to see Caitlin Clark being who she is, because his players could never be Caitlin Clark. His players was never Caitlin Clark. It's just what it is. You got Candace Parker out here talking crazy. Cheryl Swoops out here talking crazy. So to say Caitlin Clark has a rival, she doesn't. I think Paige, Juju, Angel, they all good in their own right. But to say they're a rival of Caitlin Clark's, the only rival is Caitlin. She has to look in the mirror and say, hey, I want to be great every day. She go out there and prove it on the court. She took it in stride. Hell, she was averaging 17 points 16 to 17 points in the first half of the season, then turned it up in the second half, averaging over 20 points. She was averaging almost 10, 11 assists in the second half of the season versus, I think, what, seven to eight assists in the first half. She was averaging 5+ rebounds a game in the first half. She started averaging almost 7 rebounds a game in the second half. So what are we talking about? She broke the 3-point record that's set by Ron Howard. So she, like I said, Caitlin Clark could do just about everything on the court. Sorry, but Paige is not a generational player. Juju is not a generational player. And damn sure Angel Reese is not a generational player. You would have to put all three of them together just to equal what Caitlin is, and you still gonna come up short. You know why? Because none of them know how to assist the basketball. Caitlin Clark could get 25 points in her sleep. Watch what Caitlin Clark point totals are gonna be. And you got to think about it. There ain't no Olympic break going into next year. So whatever break you have, you're going to be playing all the way through. If Flau'jae Johnson comes out and she's the number 2, she'd probably be the number 2 pick. Now, I could see Flau'jae playing with the Dallas. I would love to see her go home to play for the Atlanta Dream. I would love to see her play with down in Atlanta. I think her presence would do something different for the franchise of Atlanta. I think that would be awesome for her as she comes out this year. So, but I mean, now I know Flau'jae wants to play with Caitlin Clark. So I think she would probably, she'll probably, if the Fever could get a trade going to move up. Never know what Stephanie White might do, because Stephanie White almost recruited her. That's something for another talk. So, but anyway, let me know what you think about this video, about them talking about Caitlin Clark rivalry. He has a rivalry, she has like I said before, I think Caitlin Clark is the Michael Jordan. She doesn't have any rival. Michael Jordan he had rivals because people wanted to beat him. That's Caitlin Clark. Everybody wants to beat Caitlin Clark. But guess what? Michael rose above that. You know what I'm saying? Not many win a title in the WNBA. I mean, in college, and then win a title in their professional sport. Tom Brady never won a college football championship, but he won Super Bowls. So guess what? LeBron James never went to college. He won championships. Kobe Bryant did the same thing. So what makes you think Steph Curry didn't either? KD didn't either. So what makes you think that Caitlin Clark can't win WNBA titles because she didn't win the college? And that's supposed to not make her a great player? One of the best in the game? Man, come on. What are you talking about here? Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video. Until then, you know what it is.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? LiveWire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is LiveWire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.